Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel, and I'm going to be showing you guys the bachelors that I made for my Bachelorette LP. And so I went ahead and created all of them. I didn't go through and complete their outfits yet because honestly this video would have been just really long since there is 7 of them. But I am going to go ahead and introduce you to each of them and explain why they're going on the Bachelorette and their traits and stuff like that. And so we'll go ahead and get into the video now. And so the first one we have is Thomas Taylor. And so Thomas is 26 and he's a marine biologist. And so his aspiration is to be an eco-innovator. He really cares about the earth and the ecosystem and keeping everything safe for future generations, which kind of explains why he's a marine biologist. He's really active. He cares about his health a lot. He's good. Overall, he's just a pretty good person. Cares about others' well-being and stuff like that. And then he's also a vegetarian. He doesn't eat meat for his own specific reasons, but really because he cares about the planet. He cares about animals, and he also really cares about his own personal health. So those are the main reasons for that. And so mainly he's going on the Bachelorette because he finds it really hard to find love. A lot of people or women that he meets don't really like his strict lifestyle, where he has such a strict diet and workout regimen. And so he kind of finds it hard to date and meet women that are okay with this lifestyle. And so that's why he's going on the show. And so next we have Antonio Martinez. And he is an engineer and he is 30 years old. So this is him. And so his aspiration is to have a successful lineage. He comes from a really big family and he wants to continue that lineage. He has lots of brothers and sisters, a lot of family here, and he has some family back home in Mexico as well. And so he really just wants to have a really big family. He's really ambitious, as you can tell. He's an engineer. He went to school, he worked hard, and so now he's an engineer. He's a perfectionist, and so he really likes for things to go his way. He doesn't really like to cater to other people's needs. He really likes things to go his way and for everything to be smooth and perfect. And he gets a little frustrated when things don't go the way he wants it to. And then he's also a genius, which, as you can tell, he's an engineer, so he's really good at math. He's really hardworking, and he cares about his job a lot. And so that is Antonio. Next we have Ethan Lake. And so I think Ethan is going to be the drama starter out of all of the guys just because of his personality traits. And so Ethan is a teacher, which a lot of people find surprising, but he's actually really good with kids and really nice to them. It's adults he kind of has his issues and he clashes with. But his aspiration is to find his soulmate, and so I think that's going to be really good to match with Carmen because that's her aspiration as well. And so I think they'll both be really flirty and they'll get along in that aspect of being romantic. And so one of his traits is that he's really romantic. And then his other trait, though, is that he's non-committal, which is part of the reason why he still is not married, because he's used to dating a lot of different women and going out and partying, having fun. He's not really used to settling down, being with one woman. And yeah, he's usually used to dating a lot of women. He's kind of a player, you could say, I guess. And then also he's kind of mean. I don't think he's really mean to women per se, so he'll probably be overall pretty nice and sweet and caring when it comes to Carmen, since he is romantic. but when it comes to the other guys, he's probably not going to get along with them. He doesn't have that many friends. A lot of people think he's mean. And so those are his traits. And then next we have Cree. And so I think Cree is honestly my favorite one at this part or at this moment, because I feel like I made him look really unique. He's not a sim I'm usually used to making, and so I feel like I made his personality, his look, his traits, everything pretty unique, and I think he's my favorite one so far. But his aspiration is he wants to be a city native, and it's mainly just because he's really creative, and the city has a lot of ways for him to be creative, where he can do art and he can do all of that creative stuff that he's done his whole life. And so that's his trait. The one thing that's going to be kind of weird for him being in a house with 8 other people is that he is usually a loner. He likes to keep to himself. He doesn't really have a lot of friends. He kind of has a small set group of friends. He's not that talkative. He's kind of shy. And so he usually likes to be alone. So that's going to be different with him being with all of these bigger personalities. And then he's a foodie, of course, because his job is he's an arts critic, and so he likes to go to the city a lot, and so of course there's lots of food in the city, and so he's a foodie. He likes to eat and try different foods, and then he's pretty good at critiquing those as well, even though he's not a food critic, he's an art critic. And then of course he is an art lover. Since he is an art critic, he loves art, all different types of art. He likes music, painting, singing, dance, theater. He loves all different types of art since he is an art lover. He's also pretty good at painting himself. But his job is being an arts critic. And then next we have Andre. And so I think Andre is more so her type. It's the type of guy she usually goes after. So I think she's going to be interested in him the most, but I don't know that he's the best fit for her. And so his aspiration is bodybuilding. And so he likes to work out. He likes to exercise, but his job at the moment is he is a mixologist. And so he really has been in the club scene pretty much his whole life since he got out of high school. He became a mixologist, and that's pretty much what he's done. And so he does always like to party and go to clubs and stuff, and so I think that's going to be different with him settling down. And then one of his traits is that he's very self-assured, and so he does have a lot of confidence. Probably he's the most confident out of all the guys. He's very confident in himself and his looks and everything about him. He's really neat. He does not like clutter, and so I also don't know how that's going to work with him being in the house with 8 different other guys, since he's really neat, and it's probably not going to be neat all the time with all of these different guys in the house. And so that, and then he's a bro. He's really friendly. He'll probably get along with most of them. He's not really someone who doesn't get along with people. He can make friends everywhere he goes. And so he'll probably won't have too many issues with any of them. He'll probably more so be the one trying to keep the peace whenever there's arguments or disagreements or anything like that. And so next we have Malik Wilson. And so for his traits, I'm actually going to go through and come up with those right now, because I've kind of been thinking about his traits for a minute, and I didn't decide them beforehand, but I think I wanted his aspirations to be he wants a big happy family, and I know I wanted him to be ambitious, but when it comes to the others, I was kind of torn on what I wanted his traits to be. And so I am thinking that he's kind of nerdy because he is a doctor. He's actually an anesthesiologist, and so he went through a lot of education, and you kind of do have to be nerdy to go through 7+ years of school. That's not something that comes really easily to people, and so I think that one is going to work good for him. But I couldn't really figure out what I wanted his last trait to be for some reason. I don't really know. I think I might go with family oriented. And so, like I said, he is a doctor, and so he's a little older. He's 30, just like Antonio. And so he does really want to settle down and have a family kind of as soon as possible. And so that's kind of why he's going on the show, because he spent most of his life in school, and so he didn't really have time to settle down, meet any girls, etc., etc. So yeah, I think those are going to be his traits. He's overall pretty chill, so he'll probably get along with most of them, but he doesn't really take a lot of crap, and so him and Ethan might not get along because Ethan does like to push people's buttons, and Malik doesn't really go for that. He doesn't let people walk over him. He always says what's on his mind, and so I think I'm going to see a lot of drama between these two, probably the most. And then I would say Malik is probably my second favorite out of all of them. Other than Cree, I would say those are my two favorites so far out of all of them. I also like Thomas a lot. I don't really dislike any of them per se, but those are just so far my top three. And then lastly, we have Kendrick Moore. And so Kendrick is 25, so he's actually the youngest, because all the rest are at least 26, because Carmen is 26, but 25, a year difference doesn't necessarily mean a lot. But he is a comedian, and so he mainly does like YouTube sketches, TikTok sketches, and social media and stuff like that. And so he kind of has a big following when it comes to social media and being a comedian. He does joke around a lot, and so I think that might irritate some of the other bachelors, since one, he is a lot younger than some of them, and then he jokes around a lot and he's not really serious, and so that may interfere with him in this process as well. But his traits are his goofball. Of course, he likes to joke around. He's never really too serious. He's very cheerful. Like, it takes a lot for him to be angry, upset, sad, etc. He's usually generally happy all the time. He makes other people happy a lot as well, but he can also be kind of irritating because he jokes around a lot. And then lastly, he is lazy. He doesn't really like to work. He doesn't like to do a lot. He could probably be a lot bigger of a comedian since he is so funny if he put more effort into it, but he doesn't put a lot of effort into his craft, and so he's not as well known. He's not as big as he could be, even though he is pretty funny and good at what he does. And yeah, he's really lazy. He doesn't like to work or do anything for that matter. He kind of likes to just sit around the house on social media and play video games and hang out with friends, but he doesn't really like to do anything that requires any type of effort. And so I don't know how that's gonna rub off on Carmen, because she is really hardworking. And so I'll go back through and I'll just show you what each of them look like one last time.
I like to fight a little dirty, baby. If I opened up and caved in, would you hurt me, baby? I've been feeling like an alien, a refugee, an outsider. But sometime, you the first one made my heartbeat, made my stomach drop with desire. It's no crime. I need a little bit of love. you hostage and I saved you with no hesitation. They wanna stop it, but what's true don't need no explanation. Falling for you was a bad idea. Guess I've been bad, guess I've been bad. Maybe we can get away from here. Never go back, we'll never go back. From you, I need a little bit of trust from you. Or we can let the guns blow. From you, or we can let the war start.
And so go ahead and drop a comment about which sim or which contestant you think is going to actually win the Bachelorette, or which one you think is the best match for Carmen so far. But thank you guys for watching the video. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.